All right, so I'm here with Chris the Wolf Thompson, who's come back from overseas, and you've been spending a lot of time outside of the country, but you got a huge announcement coming up. Firstly, let's start with the announcement. We'll get back to the overseas stuff. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. It was a good time overseas, good to be abroad, nice to open myself up to that scene, help top guys preparing for fights and fight abroad and, expose myself on the biggest stages. It was enjoyable and we're about to do it again,
All right, so let's get to it because you obviously just got the fight poster sent to you and everything is confirmed. Who's Chris Thompson stepping in the ring with next?
I can only say his surname. I don't know his first name. I'm fighting Jalolov. He was the 2020 Olympic champion, four-time amateur world champion, eight-time champion in his country. He's been a world champion in the professional boxing ring. He's 13-0, 13 knockouts. Comes with a very high pedigree, one of the best in boxing at the moment. And those are the kinds of guys I want to test myself against, fighting him in his hometown. He signed with Top Rank. It's a hard test, but that's what I want. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I want to give my fans, and that's what I want to expose myself to. The pinnacle of boxing. I want to box abroad, and I want to box the best. Previously in my last fight, I fought the English champion in his hometown, and now I'm going to fight an Olympic champion and a world champion in his hometown, and that's what I'm looking to do.
Have you surprised yourself? I mean, just getting in the ring. Also, with the Russian fight. A lot of people felt you won the fight. Obviously, Dakers was a good fight for you as well. You're a very tricky opponent for him. And your lack of amateur experience and, just fight ring experience, to be fighting at the level that you are, have you surprised yourself?
Yeah, look, I really have surprised myself. To be honest, I really surprised myself against Evgeny. He was also a big name, knocked out Deontay Wilder, also had 18 knockouts in 18 wins. And he couldn't knock me out. We went the distance, and I really feel I won that fight. And then against Sol, unfortunately, to be honest with you, I only had 2 weeks' notice to prepare for the fight. I feel like if I had a longer notice period, I could have actually beat him, but I didn't have the wheels in my legs. It was a great fight. He definitely did win the fight. But if I had longer period of time to prepare, I think I would have beat him. And look, I haven't had any amateur pedigree. Hadn't had one amateur fight. Went straight into the pro scene, and I have surprised myself. Getting into the stages that I have been on, and doing the things that I have done. Being a champion in this country, being an African champion, going abroad, fighting the big names in their hometown, with no amateur pedigree. Have I surprised myself? Yes, definitely. Is there still more improvement to be done? Yeah, definitely there is.
So obviously you're fielding the calls for all these overseas fights, and obviously we haven't seen you fight locally since the SC title fight. What's going to be the going forward? Is it the overseas fights that you got your priorities on now?
Yeah, look, definitely. For now, I'm going to be abroad. I'm going to be fighting abroad. We want to look to make a name abroad and test ourselves against the guys overseas, and also just put my sponsors on those big stages, put myself on the big stages so that at least, people know who Chris Thompson is. Will I fight locally again? Yes, definitely I will. If a fight comes to our hands that looks lucrative and that looks like it makes sense, we'll take it. For now, we're just not getting those fights. There aren't many fights happening here, and I don't want to be inactive, and, it's a blessing to travel the world and fight against these great guys, we modern day gladiators, and why not fight against the best, That's why I want to go there, and I want to expose myself to those kind of, I'm not here to tarnish my record and protect my record. I want to fight the best guys, and I want to test myself and see what I can do in this short career, and be able to look back and say, at least I fought the top names, at least I went here, I went there, and made a little bit of money.
Another name that you could have fought as well in the past, and that fight never materialized, was against, I think, Kim Linguist, who Johnny the Hurricane Muller recently fought. Do you have an opinion on the results of the fight and the fight itself?
Kim did really well, To be honest with you, I think Johnny's a little bit long in the tooth. He's had a very long, great career, great fighter, great guy. But I think he came up against a younger guy that kind of just walked through him. Would I like to fight Kim? Most definitely, He has a big IBF belt. And if that fight comes to our hands, I'll take it gladly. I think I stopped Kim, to be honest. He's not a really great fighter. And he's a bit chinny. Is it a fight I would love to visit again? Yes, it is. I got offered the fight against him for the WBC International Bridgerweight, but he's now moved up to heavyweight. So he's in my division. If that fight comes to our hands, I'll definitely take it.
All right, and back to your fight again. Just a little bit more information on Jalolov. 13 wins, 13 knockouts. You mentioned before that he's a former Olympian as well, so you're definitely going to be in there with someone that's going to be a very live opponent, someone that's going to 100% knockout record. I mean, how do you go and prepare for someone like that?
The same way we prepare for other fights, you know. He's got a great record, you know, Olympic gold medalist. So, you know, he's got a really good pedigree. He's won the world champions 8 times, been 4-time champion in his country. But we prepare for him the same that we prepare for anybody. 100% KO ratio doesn't mean he's going to come and knock me out. It's not so easy just to knock people out. If it was so easy, we would all just be knocking each other out. But, you know, you can only hit what you can see. And, you know, as Eddie Hearn said, you know, I'm quite a tricky southpaw. You know, it's not so easy just to land a big punch on me. And that's coming from somebody that knows boxing. And I do believe I'm pretty tricky. So, look, I fear no man, and I fear no record. So he's got a great record, and you know that is what I want to test myself up against. And I mean that I want to go against good guys. I don't want to go against mediocre guys. I want to go against the best guys, and at least say, hey, you know, I shot for the moon. You know, let's see where we land.
Well, let's talk about that, because obviously Eddie Hearn went and did a couple of interviews afterwards when they were speaking about Solomon Dakers. He had mentioned on multiple occasions that Solomon Dakers didn't look great, and that was because of you on the night. And he said that you're very tricky southpaw, you know, that Dakers was in there with a really good fighter. I mean, hearing those comments from someone like Eddie Hearn, I mean, that must be amazing.
Yeah, you know, what a humble guy. You know, I must say, Eddie Hearn, great guy, very humble guy, nice guy. Also knows, you know, one of the best in boxing. So to hear somebody say like that, you know, it's a huge compliment, you know, and it's a test to the work that I've done in the gym. Like you said, I haven't been a professional fighter for a very long time, but I've managed to grasp the concept of boxing. So do I take that in my stride? Yes, I do. And we forget about it and we continue to work and just keep trying to improve and get better at what I do.
All right, we got about 6 weeks until the fight.
Yeah, you know, at least now I've got a decent period of time to prepare. My last fight I only had 2 weeks, and now I have 6 weeks until we go into fight week. So essentially 7 weeks to the fight. And, you know, at least now I can prepare correctly. I'll be doing quite a lot of sparring with Kevin because he's also fighting a southpaw. I'm also fighting a southpaw. So him and I will be doing a lot of preparation together. So, you know, I think my preparation for this camp will be a lot better than my previous camp. And I think we'll see a better performance because of it.
And obviously, I mean, that'll be great. Obviously, two top athletes. And Kevin Lerena, also a massive star in South Africa and also the world, coming up against top opposition, fighting abroad. Preparation like that, I mean, in South Africa, that's the best you're going to get. Yeah,
look, it is the best you're going to get here at Oakley. Obviously, I was just sparring with Murat, and to be very honest with you, I think Kevin beats Murat, and that was good preparation. You know, just sparring with him, you learn a lot. But I think Kevin can beat Murat. And I know Kevin's fighting for the WBC Bridgerweight. But look, you know, he had an unfortunate outing at heavyweight, had a great start to the heavyweight. And, you know, he's a big name in our country, and rightfully so. He's done great for himself. So it's nice that we can prepare together. As I prepare for a momentous occasion, he also does, you know. And, you know, you always rise to the level of your opponent. So it's nice to have a good sparring partner to help me rise to that level.
All right, and we didn't actually touch on that trip to Turkey that you were away for about a month, just over a month, getting in the training camp of Murat Gassiev, who's a massive name in the world. If people watch boxing, they know exactly who that is. That experience, what was that like?
Yeah, look, unwavered. You know, unified cruiserweight world champion. You know, only lost to possibly the best boxer on the planet at the moment, Alexander Usyk, and he fought that fight with a broken shoulder. You know, had a broken left shoulder, and he fought that fight and lost that Super Series. It was actually an honor to be part of his camp. You know, what a gentleman and what a good fighter. Also, huge amateur career, really good amateur career, and very good professional fighter, gentleman. And you learn small things in the camp, you know. He was also nice enough to show me a couple of things that will work nicely for a southpaw and that I was struggling to catch before that, and he helped me find them, like small things, like my left uppercut to the body. He really helped me a lot with. So it's nice that you can pick small things from, you steal with your eyes, you steal with your ears, and he was generous enough to show me those things. So I had a good time in Turkey. I learned a lot, and it was just great to be part of such a big Russian fight, to be honest with you, a huge fight.
I know that he's an orthodox boxer, but did you get that experience in the ring with him? Did that prepare you? And obviously, I know you said he taught you a few tricks, but in the actual sparring session itself, did you learn?
Yeah, look, you learn a lot. You learn a lot from every sparring session. I would say the main thing I learned from Murat was composure. Obviously, him being in the game for so long, it sounds very cliche, but it's like his bedroom in there. They're very calm, they're very cool, they're very collected, and you can draw from that. So I would say the main thing I learned from that camp was just being always composed, always being calm under pressure. So I learned a lot being in camp with him, and we're going to take it into this camp.
Right, and you're going into a very similar environment. So you're going to Uzbekistan, fighting the man in his home country. Obviously, you're going to have to do a lot to convince all the supporters there, or you're going to actually have to silence them on the night.
Yeah, 100%. Going away, being the B-side, to be honest with you, especially when you're going to a champion's hometown, you got to knock them out. Or you got to win like with a white, clean slate, and you got to win all the rounds. And I'm aware of that, and I'm happy to take up those risks and take up those chances as long as I'm improving. As long as I'm a better version of Chris after the fight. That's all that matters. And am I looking to win the fight? Most definitely. I'm not going there to survive and be the first guy to go the rounds with him. We're going to win, and whichever way that comes, if it comes by knockout, if it comes by decision, I'm going to win. I always go to win. I always go and put up my best performance that I possibly can.
All right, so Chris the Wolf Thompson representing South Africa in Uzbekistan. The exact dates, is that confirmed?
Yeah, so the exact date is the 17th of November. We'll be fighting in Uzbekistan. I don't know the arena. It is on the poster that I will post probably before you guys watch this.
Yeah. Okay. No, hopefully, we'll see who's quicker between me and Chris. If you're watching the interview before you've seen the poster, I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, we'll see about that. Look, I'm excited to go see another part of the country, Asia. It will be fun, and what a blessing, man! What a blessing to travel in something that we love to do and get to make it lucrative. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
All right, Chris, awesome, and we'll obviously catch up before you go to fight. Still quite a bit out. Any thank yous, any shout outs just lastly?
Yeah, actually, I'm only going to give one thank you, and that's to Hayden and to SA Boxing Talk. Man, this channel does a lot for boxing in South Africa, and he does a lot for the fighters and puts exposure out there and takes the time to drive to all the gyms and to all the tournaments. And, to be honest with you, without SA Boxing Talk, I think the media in boxing would be pretty dead. And so that's my only shout out is thank you to SA Boxing Talk. You guys are great.
Thank you very much, Chris. I really appreciate that, actually. Thank you.
Sweet.